Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're jumping straight into what is literally an existential threat for anyone running a website: AI-driven zero-click search. More importantly, we're going to hand you an actionable playbook to protect your digital publishing revenue in 2026. We've got a lot of crucial ground to cover, so let's just get right into it.
Now, listen, we aren't talking about some minor algorithm tweak here. To really grasp the sheer scale of this crisis, mid-sized publishers are reporting a terrifying drop, up to 50% in organic search referrals over just the last 12 months. Think about that for a second. Half of their search traffic, gone. It literally just vanished.
Here's our agenda for today. We're going to start with the zero-click crisis, then move into content licensing and lawsuits, check out the UK CMA ruling, talk about optimizing for AI citations, and wrap it all up with the publisher's survival playbook.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the zero-click crisis and this massive shift from clicks to summaries.
So here's the core issue we're facing. Large language models are completely bypassing publisher links. By synthesizing the source content and rendering it as a single, neat little block right on the search results page, they totally eliminate the user's need to ever click through to your actual site. And guys, this happened incredibly fast. We went from Google's semantic context updates with the BERT launch back in 2019, straight into the huge consumer AI boom with ChatGPT in 2022. That essentially paved the way for Google's AI Overviews rollout in 2024, driving us right into the zero-click reality and the regulatory fallout we're dealing with in 2026.
The sheer dominance of this new format is just staggering. As of right now, 60% of search pages are displaying AI overviews for complex queries, while only 40% are showing those standard search results we're used to. This absolutely shatters the outdated idea that basic keyword SEO is still going to cut it. If you're still just stuffing keywords, you're fighting for a slice of the pie that shrinks every single day.
Industry leaders are definitely feeling this pain. Sarah Jenkins, the director of SEO at Global Media Corp, hits the nail right on the head. She notes that newsrooms simply can no longer rely on search referrals as their primary traffic source. And this is exactly why ad revenues are plummeting. As those traditional page views disappear, the entire old-school monetization model basically falls apart.
Which brings us to Section 2, content licensing and lawsuits, and the really dangerous new revenue divide that's popping up.
So, as organic traffic dries up, publishers are absolutely scrambling to get compensated for the data these AI models are training on. But the reality? It's a massive David versus Goliath situation. On one hand, you have giant publishers like News Corp and Axel Springer signing these multi-million-dollar AI training deals. But on the other hand, niche and independent publishers are being completely shut out of these major licensing pools. The platforms are prioritizing paying the licensed giants for their bulk training data, while smaller sites are having their hard-earned content stripped away for absolutely nothing.
Media analyst David Alpert points out exactly how dangerous this is, saying that these licensing deals favor the largest brands, leaving smaller sites totally vulnerable. The crucial takeaway here is that unless small and mid-sized publishers band together to negotiate collective agreements, this huge economic divide is only going to get worse. You can't fight this algorithmically. You have to fight it at the business level.
But hey, publishers aren't just taking this lying down. In response to all this unauthorized scraping, we're seeing a massive technical pushback. Right now, over 48% of the Alexa top 1,000 domains are actively blocking AI bots, like GPTbot and Google Extended, to protect their copyrighted training data. It's essentially a giant digital blockade. But for a long time, putting that blockade up came with a massive risk.
And that perfectly sets up Section 3, the UK CMA ruling. This is a huge regulatory turning point. Historically, if you opted out of those AI training crawlers, you were risking getting totally removed from Google's standard search index entirely. Basically, it was a hostage situation for your traffic. But thankfully, that dynamic has finally fractured. Thanks to the June 2026 ruling by the UK Competition and Markets Authority, publishers now actually have a compliance-friendly way to protect their data. Search engines are legally mandated to allow AI training bot opt-outs, and they can't penalize your traditional organic visibility for doing it. Talk about a total game changer.
All right, moving on to Section 4, optimizing for AI citations. Because what about the traffic you do actually want from AI? We have to learn how to speak the bot's language.
You see, search bots literally cannot parse messy, unstructured layouts for their language models, so we have to proactively optimize for the AI summaries that are appearing. Think about basic keyword density. It now has 0% impact. It's totally obsolete. But what about structured news article or FAQ schema?
Adding those gives you a solid 30% boost in your citation rate by focusing on technical entities. And clean data tables? They have a highly positive impact because they offer perfect semantic relevance. So implementing structured data markups? Yeah, it's no longer optional. It's the absolute best way to make sure you're the linked source.
Elowen Gray, a tech and automation specialist, sums this up beautifully. She notes that technical schemas and direct relationships are literally the only ways to survive the shift to AI search. And she's so right. It bridges the gap between our technical problem, messy data getting ignored, and our operational solution. We basically have to spoon-feed these large language models exactly what they want in the exact format they require. Okay, let's bring it all home with Section 5, the Publisher Survival Playbook. These are your actionable steps for 2026.
So here is your immediate 3-step operational roadmap. Step 1. Update your server crawler rules based on those new CMA protections so you can block bots without catching a search penalty. Step 2. Implement custom structured schema markups so your data is crystal clean and highly citable. And Step 3. Pivot heavily to direct newsletters and apps. You've got to build lists and bypass the search algorithms completely.
And I really want to emphasize that third step because it is absolutely vital. Direct audience channels show a 40% higher retention rate. Pivoting to a direct-to-consumer model finally stops your total reliance on volatile organic search clicks. Right now, 60% of publishers are actively increasing their newsletter investments because it fosters brand recognition and, honestly, drives direct subscriber revenue. It gives you true stability away from the algorithmic whims of major tech platforms. You're building an audience that you actually truly own.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. In the coming years, will your content be cited by AI or completely swallowed by it? The tools to protect your traffic, optimize your data, and build direct relationships are all right here in this explainer. But you absolutely have to act quickly and structure your approach today before the search landscape shifts all over again. Thanks for exploring this with us, and we'll catch you next time.